We've endured 5 decades or more in which the same students are being left behind and underserved. And so it's no secret, it should be no secret to any educator, to any leader. And so I just thought accountable leaders must do something differently.
Equity has been historically and continues to be a major Achilles heel of education.
There are many people who are frustrated by those inequities and really aren't sure where to begin. So being able to come to a summit like this and meet with other champions from other states and learn from each other, share best practices is critical.
This experience enables states from the Southeast region, including Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Mississippi, in which we are situated, to participate as well. We have other invited states, including Texas and Michigan. We wanted to show real-life examples. We wanted to get teens engaged with data, making authentic decisions that would inform the Every Student Succeeds Act planning process. We wanted to enable them opportunity to engage across shareholder groups.
It's important that as we go into these communities all across the country that we understand the context. I think that the pre-summit activities were so important, so critical, so vital. The civil rights journey, visit to the Civil Rights Museum here in Jackson, as well as the visit to the Choctaw Nation of Mississippi, I think were important pieces to kind of really ground the participants in the work that needed to be done.
So when we talk about educational equity, at least what I mean is that we distribute resources, opportunities, supports, and power based on degree of need. The piece around power is very important because oftentimes folks that are impacted by inequities aren't the folks that are making decisions about the interventions that are designed to support them or the policies that may be disadvantaging them. So the issues that are really prominent in New Orleans are consistent across the board, like across the nation. Students of color and students from low-income homes or families often don't have access to high-quality schools. They don't have access to the types of courses that are needed for them to be prepared for post-secondary education and opportunities. They're being suspended at a higher rate than their peers. And one other is around having access to high-quality teachers, and specifically around having more experienced teachers.
I have been a school teacher in Mississippi for a long time. So I was a classroom teacher, a national board certified teacher who has worked in a small district. Equity means that you are having high expectations for every student who comes through your door. That's equity.
I have the privilege of serving as superintendent of schools in the Los Fresnos CISD, which is in deep South Texas. We're a property poor school district. Our schools are funded based on our property values. The challenges as far as equity is concerned, if our mission is to deliver for all students a quality educational experience, if we're going to be able to do that, I have to focus on our finances.
Funding is probably the largest inequity because it cuts across so many of the subgroups.
What we had participants to do here was to reflect on their equity components of their ESSA plans so that they can address things that are not going as well as they would have liked when they designed the plans.
We wanted them to have a big picture of what data looks like and what data trends are like across the nation, and to begin to think about how that applies to their context.
This is very, very tough work, but work that can be done. And if it's going to be done, it's going to be not because people just have an epiphany at an event like this, but that there are supports like the Comprehensive Center that AIR runs that can support states in doing this work.
It's critical that we continue to have opportunity to work across states, across comp centers, because if we don't, we're going to under-conceptualize if we don't have opportunity to listen to others who are struggling through the same challenges.
One of the innovations I'd like to see is us tap the potential and the ideas of young people to generate ideas and strategies on how to make our schools better. and more equitable. They can tell us what the inequities feel like.
You know, when you look at schools all across this country and you look at children that are part of this, that's the natural resource of this country. And, you know, we want to make sure that every single child has an opportunity to learn, has access to appropriate educational services that meets their specific needs. So this wasn't just about talking and sharing of ideas, this was about developing plans so that, you know, all of these state teams, when they go back home, they will have a plan in place to move forward. And so it was a working summit to bring about change, right?